Hi, this is Jerry, and if you're watching this, you're watching my channel, JT Leverett, and you know that I'm a practitioner of iron palm and I break. My style, I call it TetsuTe because I'm a Japanese karate practitioner, well, Okinawan karate practitioner actually. In the Japanese, for the Chinese term TetsuTe is indeed TetsuTe. I wanted to take a minute. I've recently been going through several other breaking YouTube pages and such and videos. And one thing that struck me is all the negativity out there against the breaking. A lot of people who are, how to put it, armchair, iron palm practitioners think they know what they're doing and think they see a fraud. I will admit there's probably some breaking out there that's fraudulent. I have no doubt of that. Let me address a concept first. With breaking, I don't care how proficient you are, science is behind everything we do. There is science to what happens to the human body as it changes. The hand gets thicker and denser. That's covered by Wolff's Law. There are physics involved in certain types of breaking, certain levels of breaking. So absolutely there's science involved. So I'm also seeing on YouTube these debunking things, the fraud of breaking and whatnot. One that I saw in particular recently, there was a performance done. I agreed with their science behind all the breaking and how it wasn't that difficult. But I don't see them having a sledgehammer thrown at them either. But that aside, there's one break in which the practitioner had three bricks that looked pretty much identical. And they were spaced, each one about that high. The guy hit the top one and only broke the middle one. Now, I stacked my bricks, one on top of the other without spacers, so I've never really attempted this particular break. What I thought was very interesting was they suggested that the middle brick was rigged, that it was actually a lighter, less dense material, that had a groove cut in it to make it easier to break, or actually what they said was a straw was placed in the back, or not a straw but a small stick that you couldn't see from the front, so that when the pressure was applied that it caused the break in the middle. Now here was the interesting thing. Not a single person on those experts who did the video, those science people, none of them attempted it. They just said this is what is going on. So for me, if you're going to debunk something, I'm fine with that because I break what I break. I'm not fraudulent. I present what I present. Most of the people that I have respect for, I'll name 3 off the top of my head right now that I consider wonderful practitioners that I personally know. Master Lee Shiloh does his breaks. They're legitimate. They're real. Brett Barrel, you'll see his stuff at Mercy Given 100 here on YouTube. He does all his own breaking. His techniques are flawless as far as I'm concerned. And then you have a group called the Iron Lotus Society. Their stuff is real. They're not faking it. They have no reason to. And that's the attitude. Most of us that really practice iron palm are not really out for anything more than the love of the art. We consider it a lifestyle, a way, and an art. There are people that are fraudulent, but if you're going to go out there and make a tape saying, oh, Jerry did this break, but here's how he really did it. Well, do it yourself. So I have no problem debunking things that are out there. There are some breaks that I see that even I know I could do probably very easily. I don't say that person is a fraud as much as I say, man, I'd love to have some of that material to break and play with because, man, I would look awesome if I could break some of that soft clay. But that's not taking away from their skill. It still takes skill to break things. So that was an issue I had. So there are frauds. I'm sure they exist. And you'll probably find them out there at places and people who want to say they're this, that, and the other and brag about themselves. To me, my own personal opinion, most practitioners of iron palm that are serious and real, they're understated, they're humble. They don't go out just bragging rights about everything. They show their skill, they're confident about it, but they're not trying to get your attention. You're either going to like it or you're not, you're going to agree with it or not. In the end, that's what matters. So another thing that bothered me, other than the scientific aspect of debunking, which I'm fine with if you can just do it yourself. If you're the nerd proving it wrong, prove it wrong. Other thing I have issue with are the armchair iron palm practitioners, the armchair breakers, breaking masters, people that have never broken before or have very limited understanding of breaking. For example, if you're a karate practitioner as I am, and your breaking is limited to the black belt level of standard of 1 patio slab and lots of motion and and you really don't understand the concepts of the Kung Fu approach to breaking, the TetsuTe, and the training behind it, your opinion should be that of someone who doesn't understand the approach. You shouldn't be ridiculing, you shouldn't be making fun of, because actually they're doing something that you can't do. Yes, you can break a brick, and I can do that too. As a karateka, I can do it, but the point is that the Kung Fu style of breaking is very different. It incorporates a lot of internal power, a lot of controlled environment power, short striking. To do it takes a lot of training that the regular karateka doesn't have to put in for to get the one break. Some of us are doing 2 or 3 of those things, one on top of the other, not spaced, because spaced, the top one's energy as it breaks helps break the next one. That's just a fact. I'm still in awe of some of the people out there that break those and are able to break stacks of 8 or so or more. That's phenomenal. That's breaking on a level that is super. So I admire that, but be careful how you criticize. Then there are the people that are out there making comments and they have no clue what they're talking about. To them, I would offer a challenge. And it's a polite challenge. It's not trying to see who's bigger man. Here's the thing. If you think somebody's a fraud, contact them politely and say, hey, I would like you to prove it to me. Then you go fly out to where they live. Anybody's welcome to come visit me if they want to. You just message me. I'll give you the information to get you close. You don't need to have my exact address. We could meet up nearby, and for me, for example, if you don't believe I'm doing what I'm doing with the materials I'm doing with, we'll meet up. You fly yourself over. We'll meet up. I'll take you to the very Home Depot where I get the materials. I'll show you what I use. You can pick the material. You can then set it. You'll have to get me a couple of cinder blocks so we can stack them. $20 will prove the point, and then you can record me doing the breaks. I suggest that approach to anyone out there you think is a fraud. If you really don't know what you're talking about, be careful. We should be polite in this society anyway. There are a lot of things we don't understand and don't get, but that doesn't mean you should be negative about everything. There are people making comments that really have no understanding of what they're making comments about. They think they know, but they really don't. People that are in martial arts for only a couple of years, I think they know more than martial arts masters of 20, 30 years on video. You know, because the technique you were taught is different than somebody else's doesn't mean you're necessarily right. It means you're taught a way that they're not, and they're taught a different way than you are. There are so many different variations on the same concepts. A Tai Chi punch versus another Kung Fu style's vertical punch. Same basic techniques, but driven a different way. Doesn't mean one's better than the other. So I just want to make a quick video. Sorry for rambling, but these are 2 things that have been bothering me lately, because I see some people out there, you know, they'd be willing to show breaks, but they're afraid of the criticism because people can be harsh. And you don't know what level a person's at either. You know, I've been training my hands off and on for about 12, 13 years. I really seriously focused on my training for the last year, so for me, I'm somebody that knows a little bit about what I'm doing. But I feel like I'm still growing and learning, and I don't know everything yet, and I don't. Then you have persons like Master Lee Shiloh, who's been doing this probably my lifetime, and his skill and his ability is so far ahead of mine. I'm total reverence for him, because he knows what he's doing. But that doesn't make my breaks any less important or as spectacular. He's at a different level. I kind of adhere to a rule. It was said once by a Taekwondo master that there's only a small handful of kicks and punches. For example, a hook kick is a hook kick. A spinning hook kick is just a hook kick, but you're just adding a little something to it. But it's still a hook kick. So remember that. There's basics in everything. If a person's breaking a board and they never broke a board, to me, breaking a pine board, a child breaking a thin half piece of pine board, is as impressive as the greatest Grand Master breaking 10 or 12 bricks stacked. Because I consider where that kid is, and that kid's accomplishment is great, because there's adults that will hurt themselves on those boards, believe it or not. So I just wanted to share that. It's all positive, it's all good. I want to mention those 3 again. Please check them out. I check them out. I have a website, karaTetsute.weebly.com, and you can check my stuff out there. I don't visit that as often, but I will. But it's connected here to YouTube, and I'm also connected to Facebook. I have a page there also called Kata TetsuTe. It's Kata Te, but Tetsu is in the middle. K-A-R-A-T-E-T-S-U-T-E. So the people on YouTube I want you to check out is Master Lee Shiloh. Check out Mercy Given 100, and check out the Iron Lotus Society. Fantastic breaking from good people. And in the future, I'll start mentioning a couple other people that are doing some breaking. They're learning and growing, or you can connect to us and see their videos, and you can see how we all begin. It's a really good thing. So, best to you. I hope everyone's enjoying the videos I post. I'm doing it as an exercise and learning for myself, but I really am excited when people give feedback. So, all those who have, thank you very much. It's all about positive. It's all about learning and growing, and as a good friend of mine has said once before, and I repeat it often, is I'm among the minority of minorities that practice this, and I'm very honored to be there. So thank you, and enjoy. Appreciate it.